Hey everyone, it's John here from Hot Take Hockey to give you my 2020 Seattle expansion mock draft. So there's a lot of rumors that the team is going to be called the Seattle Kraken, release the Kraken. I think that would be crazy. I think that would be exciting. We're in January 2020 as I make this video for the 2020 year. Let's get my mock draft going. So I'm going to protect players for each team, and then draft the team for Seattle, and then we're going to look at the team and construct some lines and see what the roster could look like. So if you are new and you want more hockey content, hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video, and have those notifications on. So let's get into this mock expansion draft. So starting with obviously protecting players for each team. So we're going to go through this pretty quickly. I'm going to do more mock drafts, so don't even worry. This is just kind of straightforward which players I think will be protected just through a quick thought. There's not a lot of research done. It's just honestly straightforward who I think they're going to protect. So I'm not going to go through the 10 or 15 minutes that I was selecting each player to protect. We're going to skip through this really fast. And again, I just want to say welcome to the channel if you are new and you're a new subscriber. I think overall for this video, I do want to focus on creating a competitive team like we saw for the Vegas Golden Knights. And that's where you're going to see the cap is going to be very crunched. You're going to see a lot of players that are going to have higher cap hits. And we are probably going to see the cap go higher by the time that Seattle does become a team for the 2021-2022 season. So bear with me here. This is not going to be a completely accurate mock draft, but I want to see and create a potential very competitive Seattle Kraken team that could make the playoffs and even go on a run like Vegas Golden Knights did. All right, so we're here for the draft, and let's see who Seattle takes. So, again, this is not completely accurate. I went through it fairly quickly, not a whole lot of thought, but as I went through it, just the key players that I think each team would protect, and this is just a few mock drafts that I will make. So, let me know what you think in the comment section, and we'll see what kind of Seattle team we get. So, for the Anaheim Ducks, I'm looking at the forward group. Adam Henrique's there, that could be pretty good. Nick Ritchie, Daniel Sprong, defense, Jacob Larson. I'm thinking just in terms of, obviously we need to take into account that Seattle does need to reach the cap floor. So I'm going to go with Adam Henrique, $5.8 million cap hit, UFA in 2024. I'll go with Adam Henrique. All right, so the Anaheim Ducks, Adam Henrique. Arizona Coyotes. So this one's interesting. You could go younger and cheaper cap hits into guys like Lawson Crouse or Vinny Hinostroza. So those are interesting, but I think you could also look at goaltending. Where will Antti Ranta and Aiden Hill be? So that's obviously an interesting perspective. I'm going to go with a guy like Lawson Crouse. I think Crouse still has some untapped potential, so I'm going to go with Lawson Crouse. All right, so the Boston Bruins. This one's interesting. Forward group, not too many interesting players. Carson Coleman could be interesting. Forsbacka Karlsson could be interesting as well. Matt Grzelcyk. I'll go with Matt Grzelcyk. I think Forsbacka Karlsson could be a hidden gem there, but I'm going to go with Matt Grzelcyk. I think he's underrated on the back end. Buffalo Sabres. So Sam Reinhart, that was a mistake. That he was supposed to be protected, so that's my bad. But if we go through the rest of the forwards or possibly defense, I will go Brandon Montour. So Sam Reinhart was supposed to be protected. That's just on me. But Brandon Montour, I think, could be a good pick for the Buffalo Sabres, so we'll go Brandon Montour. All right, so Calgary Flames. Mark Jankowski, Austin Czarnik having a great years. Dylan Dubé's there as well. If I'm looking at the defense, so Mark Giordano, again, could be and very well, but 36 years old. Once the expansion draft comes around, he's going to be coming on 38. So do the Calgary Flames want to do that? But if I'm looking at Shillington being there, I would pick Shillington if he's available. Again, I think that it's going to be a hard decision for the Calgary Flames if they're going to protect a guy between Shillington or Rasmus Anderson, who they just re-signed. So maybe this is Rasmus Anderson in this position. But I'm going to pick Shillington here. It could be between Valimaki as well. That's going to be a tough decision for the Calgary Flames. And they've just got defense to protect. So we'll say Shillington. All right, so the Carolina Hurricanes. This one's also tough for the defense. I'm going to go Jake Gardiner. But it also could mean Hayden Fleury's there. Like, there's some interesting pieces here. I'm going to go Jake Gardiner, though, more experience. And not a bad cap hit either. Chicago Blackhawks. Do we get someone from the forward group? But then again, another defense could be really interesting here. Connor Murphy, a little younger. I'll go Connor Murphy for the Seattle Kraken, possibly. All right, Colorado Avalanche. So again, do you go defense? There's a couple interesting pieces on the defense here, but I do think you go for the forward group if you are the Seattle Kraken. I'm going to go Tyson Jost here. I think 21 years old. There's still a lot of potential there. So Tyson Jost. All right, so Columbus Blue Jackets. Who do you pick? I mean, Josh Anderson's there, RFA. So that's interesting. I'll probably go Josh Anderson if he was available. All right, so we do got to take into account higher cap hits, and that's where Joe Pavelski again. Pavelski, 37 once that Seattle expansion draft comes around. So I'm going to go Pavelski. It's a hot take, but hey, it is hot take hockey, so we'll pick Pavelski. All right, Red Wings. Again, this is not a complete accurate mock draft. It's just kind of going through a quick what possible players could go to Seattle. Defense, again, it's Detroit, so what kind of options are here? I mean, I guess you could go for a guy like Christopher N. or like Brendan Perlini. I guess we'll take a chance on Brendan Perlini. He's been inconsistent, but you never know what can happen with a new team. We've seen what William Karlsson and other players have done. Not that Brendan Perlini is going to go off, but you never know. All right, so Edmonton Oilers. Who do you pick here? This one's tough. I mean, Adam Larson, if they were to re-sign him, again, he's a UFA 2021, so that's when the expansion draft would be going down. So it's interesting. I guess if you re-signed Adam Larson or if he was available, you could pick him up. So we'll go Adam Larson. Or even Caleb Jones, maybe. Maybe we'll go Caleb Jones. All right. So the Florida Panthers, again, if these two guys are available, that's insane. We don't know if they're going to be free agents or if they're going to re-sign. So we'll just go for fun. We'll just say Mike Hoffman re-signs with the Florida Panthers and they don't protect him, or he's a free agent and Seattle can sign him or something. So we'll just say Mike Hoffman is available for Seattle, just for fun. All right, LA Kings, another tough one because they got a lot of pending UFAs. Maybe a guy on the back end, maybe a goaltender. Jack Campbell hasn't been bad as a backup, but we'll go maybe just like a depth forward, a guy that can bring experience. Say maybe they pick up a guy like Kyle Clifford. Let's go that route. Or Tyler Toffoli. We could say Tyler Toffoli. Let's do it. All right, Minnesota Wild. Who are we getting here? I think Ryan Donato is probably the most intriguing, but you could also go on the back end for a guy like Jonas Brodin. So we'll go that route. We obviously might have to make changes after, seeing if I pick a lot of defense without kind of taking into account. So forwards, a couple interesting pieces here. Then on the back end, I think honestly an underrated guy like Noah Juleson or Cale Fleury. So I'm gonna go Cale Fleury. Let's go with the hot take there. All right, the Preds. So I think this one's easy. I'm going Calle Jarnkrok. I think that's pretty straightforward. If the Preds are going to protect for defense, there's going to be a good forward there, and Calle Jarnkrok's obviously stacked. Pekka Rinne, obviously, it comes down to is he going to retire? What's going to happen with him? But we're going Calle Jarnkrok for the Preds. All right, so the New Jersey Devils. This one's interesting. What will they do? I think defense, there's a couple interesting pieces there. I think it really depends what Wayne Simmons. We'll say Miles Wood will probably be around, so we'll go Miles Wood. Guy that can be possibly in the top 9, maybe in a third line role. All right, so New York Islanders. So another interesting one. Do you get a character guy like Casey Zizekas? He is going to be a UFA in 2021, though. And then you look at a guy like Dal Cole, who has still some untapped potential, but he's kind of getting that bust label. But we'll pick Sebastian Aho. He could be an intriguing piece. Then Adam Pellick's there as well, but we'll go Sebastian Aho. He has got some good potential. All right, so the New York Rangers. So who do you pick? Chris Kreider's there. But again, I feel like Chris Kreider is going to be a guy that is going to get a long-term contract and he's going to resign. He's only 28 years old. So we're not going to pick Kreider because I think that's unlikely. Hayek, but we're already picking a lot of defense, so that's tough. So maybe for this one, we'll just have some fun and say Kreider. But then again, if he was with the Rangers, so we'll go Hayek and then we'll fix it after. We probably have selected too many defense right now. All right. Ottawa Senators. So this one's tough. Because Peugeot, again, if he re-signs, he'll be protected. But then again, if he gets traded, will he? Chris Tierney's there as well. I feel like Chris Tierney wouldn't get protected in most scenarios, so we'll go Chris Tierney. Maybe a third line role for Seattle. All right, so we got to start taking into account we got to pick goaltending, so we'll keep that in mind. But James Van Riemsdyk, I feel like that cap hit for Voracek is way too high. But Van Riemsdyk still has, I think, a little bit left in him. And it's not like crazy. If it doesn't work out in Seattle, they would only have him until 2023. So we'll pick James Van Riemsdyk for the Seattle Kraken. All right, the Penguins. So I think this is where you look at goaltending and Matt Murray available. So that could possibly be your starting goalie for the Seattle Kraken. All right, San Jose Sharks. Again, the Sharks, if they were to re-sign Dell or get a different goalie, Then you got a guy like Martin Jones. So maybe a Martin Jones, Matt Murray tandem. How crazy would that be? Let's do it. Let's just go for it. All right. Oscar Sundqvist, but then we'll look at the defense. Who's available here? Vince Dunn. If Vince Dunn is not protected, which is possible if Pietrangelo resigns. So we'll go Vince Dunn because that would be a crazy addition for Seattle. All right, the Lightning. Honestly, I think it'd be so tough to pass on guys like Taylor Radish or guys like Cal Foote if they're available. So that's the tough part. But I'm going to think the Lightning are going to maybe make some kind of deal, maybe protect some of their younger players. I don't think it's going to happen exactly how it happened with Vegas. I think other teams are not going to really kind of succumb to those, I guess, deals where they're giving up first round picks or any of that. But I think Tampa might figure something out because they've got a lot of young pieces that I know they want to keep. So we'll go Tyler Johnson goes to Seattle. And then for the Toronto Maple Leafs, I think it's Alex Kerfoot. Honestly, if Kerfoot or Johnsson are unprotected, one of those two guys will go to Seattle. So we're going to go Kerfoot there because he is very versatile. He can play up the middle. He can play on the wing. And then the Vancouver Canucks. So this one's going to be interesting because the Canucks, I think they feel pretty safe going into the expansion draft. Chris Tanev's there. But I think at the end of the day, the only issue the Canucks have is the goaltending. And they might have to make a trade. But if Demko is not if they don't think Demko's their guy, if they think Markstrom's the guy they want for the next few years, then Demko might be unprotected if they don't trade him. So we'll go Demko as the third goalie, but then again, he could jump Murray and Jones if he plays really well. And then the Capitals, you know what? Holtby will probably go to another team. I'll go Hathaway here, get some experience on that fourth line. And then the Winnipeg Jets. This could go in a few ways. I don't know who they would protect between Adam Lowry and Andrew Kopp. Kopp has sometimes that more scoring touch. Lowry can be more of a two-way forward. So this could be Lowry, this could be Kopp. We'll go Lowry. And that's it for the expansion draft. So we'll go up top and then view the team. So forwards. So we actually without. So the thing is, you're supposed to have 2021, 2022 contracts, but you've got to assume that some of these players will re-sign potentially. So like guys like Chris Tierney, for example, or Josh Anderson. So some of these RFAs. So if you add up the RFAs, so 13 out of 20, that's 14, that's 15, that's 16, that's 17. And then look at all these RFAs over here. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So you'll be over that minimum of contracts going to that year. And then some of these UFAs might even sign extensions. And then look at that. And then two more RFAs here. So you're fine for the contracts because you got to assume that all of these RFAs will re-sign. So if we look through the forwards, so you could have a top line of Adam Henrique, Pavelski, and Van Riemsdyk, which is not bad at all for an expansion team, or even Hoffman in there. And then Hoffman, Johnson, and then Tyler Toffoli. A third line of Kerfoot, Lowry, and like Yarncrow. And then a fourth line of like Wood, Anderson in there, Krause possibly, Tyson Jost. So you've got a pretty good team to start off if this is what it looked like. And we could even construct lines in the sense of Hathaway in there as well. And then defense. So you could have a top pairing of potentially a guy like Brodin with Murphy and then Gardner with Montour, or kind of figure it out within those top four. But then you got Vince Dunn in there as well, Shillington with that potential, Caleb Jones in there as well. So you've got some good potential along with some experience in guys like Brodin, Montour, Gardner. So honestly, I really like the look of for Seattle's back end there. And then yeah, Vince Dunn could be a huge pickup for them. Shillington as well. And then the goaltending. So you've got experience, and then a combined, depends what happens with Matt Murray in that contract, but Martin Jones, Matt Murray, and Thatcher Demko, that's pretty good for three goaltenders going into expansion draft. Obviously, Marc-Andre Fleury beats out all three of those guys currently, but not bad for an expansion team. So you let me know what you think for this expansion draft. I like it. Again, this is so unofficial. This is so I would say a lack of research and a lack of just kind of looking into it. I think this was more of just like having fun and seeing what the team could look like. And at the end of the day, Seattle wants to be competitive. And so right now that cap hit is at 87.4 over 79.5. So of course I do see that. The salary's going up. So the salary could be as high as like 85 at that point. So don't look too much into that. Again, maybe there's one or two players that you don't select because of cap complications. But honestly, I could see a scenario where Seattle goes all out and wants to be competitive, and they see what Vegas did right off the bat, and they want to be competitive. And this would be the team that would be competitive. I didn't draft a lot of younger players. I mean, you see Shillington there, 22, Cale Fleury. So you see some younger players in the back end, and a guy like Tyson Jost. but I would look at this roster as more competitive and more of the experienced team that they could draft. So that's what I titled this video, kind of the competitive mock draft for Seattle if they want to be a playoff team. So of course, cap's going to go up. There's a lot of UFAs and RFAs when the Seattle expansion draft comes around, so that they could also be signing players for not as much as they're at right now. Obviously, guys that are entering their late 20s and early 30s, some of them need raises as well. So that's perspective. But I just think overall, cap's going to go up. Cap could go up as high as like 85 for all we know. And again, a lot of these guys are without contracts. We don't know what will happen with Matt Murray. We don't know what will happen with Demko. So this is all question mark. This is all up for debate. But right now, this could be a team that's very competitive going into the playoffs for their first year for the Seattle Kraken. Release the Kraken. I can't wait for that hashtag. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you are new. Smash that like button. Comment your thoughts below. This was John from Hot Take Hockey. Hope to see you on more videos if you are a new subscriber. Peace out.